Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Patricia Stuart of Patricia Stuart Originals. As you can see here, I have an art piece. This was made with pieces of gel prints that I had left over, and I wanted to use them. And so I turned paper into sort of like fabric. It's like a fabric square. And I put a silhouette of two faces of two females and embellished on it. So I'm going to show you how to take your gel prints to a whole other level. Okay, so what I did was I took some gel prints here, pieces that I have left over. First, underneath is some parchment paper, this paper here, and on top of that I have fusible web. And then I lay on top of the fusible web, which is under here. Under my prints is the fusible web. And I lay the prints down however I want to situate them. You may have pieces, you can put them any way that you'd like. And then I put another piece of fusible web, and this is double-sided fusible web. I lay another piece on top. And then I take another piece of parchment paper, spread that out on top, and that's the way I situate it on my ironing board. You need a piece of parchment paper on top of your board cover, and you will sandwich your project right in between, and you use an iron with no steam, just a dry hot iron that will be passed over it until it fuses. It just takes a few minutes to fuse. And you pull the paper off and you have what looks like this. It is fused back and front, and it's like a piece of material. Okay, and so it's as simple as that. Now you cannot use wax paper on an ironing board. But if you don't have parchment paper to lay down on your ironing board, then you use a piece of cloth, not a towel or hand towel, but you need a thin cotton cloth, something that will protect the ironing board cover, but at the same time the heat can easily go through it to fuse all of your pieces of paper together. Okay, so you could use a pillowcase, one at the bottom to cover your ironing board cover, and one on top to iron over. And so it was as simple as that to create this. And you can, the beauty of it is you can place, I use all pieces of leftover rice papers, deli papers are in here that I printed on previously, all kinds of pieces of paper that I used in my videos, and leftover scraps. It's a good way to use your scraps. Again, I used a silhouette. I've had this for years for the face, where I traced around it and did it as well in black to fill it in for a head. But this was my subject, these two faces, but you could use an animal, you could use musical instrument, you could use 4 of them or 2 of them. It depends on, what you feel inspired to do at that moment. And then I went on my computer and got some flowers and enlarged them, cut them out, and here you see the tulips. Now, I didn't glue it down with glue. I printed it out on some sticky back paper that can go through your inkjet printer or laser printer. I used an inkjet printer, and I had purchased on Amazon paper that has a sticky back and you peel it back. And so because I do a lot of art journaling and ephemera and stuff like that, I just enlarged it, cut it out, peel it back, and I stuck it on. It was better than using glue. So once you put your subject on, there's no more ironing. You don't want to iron on top of this. You want to leave it, paint it, use paint. I think I used Posca markers and some paint. And so it's as simple as that. Here again are the roses that I cut out. And it works well to use the sticky back paper. Okay. And another one that I'm working on finishing is this one that has the faces of 4 young ladies. Again, I started using the flowers. These will go here. I think I have it. Yeah, these will go here. This flower here. This flower here. And I will peel those back and stick them on. And again, these are pieces of leftover scraps because I hold on to my scraps from gel printing. And I just sandwich them together. Here's an unfinished one. Here I use some dictionary paper, sheet from the dictionary, and some other scraps that I did. Okay, and so it's very easy to do. It works to be a beautiful piece when you're finished with it, and that is one way to take your gel prints to a whole other level. So I'm going to press this out on my ironing board, and I'm going to come back and show you the next step. Okay, we're back and it's fused together. So it's like a piece of material. And so I'm going to even it out. cutting around the edges. It can be cut down to whatever, you know, size I want, but I'm just going to even off these edges. Now this makes for a nice gift. It can be framed when it's all finished. And it's like a quilt square sandwiched in between the fusible web. And it makes for, it brings a whole different look to your gel prints, creating almost like a piece of fabric. And even though I have like a little blank that you can see through here, doesn't matter because whatever subject I decide to put on top will hide that. And I will continue to embellish. And like I said, you could use anything you like to embellish with. Together. And this is double. There's some fusible web that's only sticky on one side, but because I do art quilts, I use this, and so it works very well. It takes about 5 minutes to run the iron over it. It comes with instructions on the inside, and yeah, so you may want to try your hand at the fusible web. And again, the sticky back paper I like because I can create ephemera. If I want it to have more body, I will glue it onto, stick it onto cardstock. But for this, it's very easy to print whatever you want to print and peel it back. It's only because I'm doing a video that peeling it back is, it's really not difficult to peel it back. Let's see here. And it's very sticky. It sticks well. And so on this, I just stick it down, and if it runs over the sides, I cut off what's sticking on the sides. And there we have a nice flower there. I do the same with this one. This paper is great, especially for the things that I use it for. It prints very well. I have an inkjet, Canon inkjet, and it prints very well. So now you see this one here. I'll cut off that end there. So this gives your this will give your gel prints a completely different look because it will look like fabric. A person would think that this was made of fabric, your square. And it's all paper. So that's one way of taking your gel prints to another level. And I'm going to talk about another way that you can take your gel prints to a whole other level. And so you see the girls have their headpieces on. And if you need to reposition it, it will peel up for you. And this is, like I said, Posca pen that I have here. Yeah, I wanted to reposition it. Okay. Beautiful. Very easy to do. Okay, so we're finished. We have the faces painted on and the ephemera placed. And so this is pretty much the finished product. I could either put some other things here or there, but for now, that's what it is. So here is one way of taking your gel prints to a whole other level. Okay, here's another way that you can take your gel prints to a whole other level. Now I took some pieces, again, scraps, and glued them onto cardstock. I did some mark making. I cut out some circles. I also made some puzzles some time back using my gel prints. And so I placed all of these on and used it as a master board so that I could make copies of the same print. And these I took to my computer and I reduced it to size, the original print, this, and I started to play around with some of the software in one of my art programs. I was using Print Shop 23 Deluxe by Broderbund, and I've used that for several years. It does a variety of things. So this same print I ran off as a copy, and then I wanted to embellish, change its look, which you can do if you have Photoshop or print shop or one of those types of desktop publishers where you can alter things. And then the same print, reduced to size, I began to use another feature that allowed it to morph into something completely different. And these are backgrounds that I can use in my art journaling, or I can rip pieces and use in collage work. But here's another example that you can make a master board, scan it on your computer, and you will have a copy of this that you can use for other purposes. And if you have, like I said, one of those programs, Print Shop, Photoshop, where you can sort of embellish and begin to add to what you've done, that takes your art prints to another level. Okay. I also made a master board here that I took some prints and placed them on, and used my hole puncher and used the frame of it. Did some mark making and some writing and sort of aged it with some distress paints, inks rather. And that was my master board. And then I ran it off in my computer, and I faintly, I don't know if you can see it, I added some women, different women, a female holding a child, and I was able to get it to be transparent through the program, where they'll put transparent figures in. And so that was what I added to this master board here. And so this is a sheet that I can use in art journaling. I could tear it for collage work. It changes the appearance. You can add as many things to it. So that's what I like about incorporating technology in with the art. Here's another master board that I did, again piecing the different print scraps that I had left over, writing, all kinds, and glued it down. Then I took it to my computer and reduced it to size and began to change the appearance. They had a feature in it in my software where I could change the appearance, the transparency, and I did that to give it another look. This can be cut out and used, glued to canvas, or I could use it in art journaling. This I would like to put on the face of a greeting card for someone and continue to embellish it. And so you may want to create a master board and run it off, print it. That's very simple and easy to do. Print it onto your sheets. I use regular computer paper, and print it out and see how you like it. And you can add different things, like I said, if you have a software program that can do that for you. But it's another way of getting your prints mixed together to create a whole other look. My pieces put together, and scraps, as well as some sheets that I recently did. put that in the computer and change the whole style of it as background paper. So there's so many different things, variety of things that you can do with your prints that will take them to a whole other level. You can incorporate technology, software, and see what it can do for you. So just remember, there's some beautiful things you can do with your scraps. Don't throw away your scraps. Don't toss the ghost prints. You can use all of these things as backgrounds in your work. I hope that helps you create some new ideas, things that you would want to try. Thanks for joining me today. Keep doing art. Till next time.